As a blue-collar man myself with multiple trades under my belt, I saw this video and I had to take a look. Because, like, who better to talk about blue-collar jobs than other blue-collar people? Now, granted, you can't see me IRL. I'm a diesel mechanic, so blue-collar jobs for the win. Again, I'm biased, but, say what you want. I think they're great.
Color jobs out there, the good, the bad, the ones that leave your knees sounding like bubble wrap by 25. And I've talked about that I think that they're better than white collar jobs, but this time we're gonna go a little deeper. We've gotten some interest from people who want to get into the trades, but they go, which one should I get into? So today we're gonna decide what would be the best trade to get into. Now that I've had a few years away from the job site, I figure we should break it down because not every blue-collar job is the same. And honestly, I'm just as curious as you guys are. I want to know what would be the best trade to start in. So rapid fire, this is what we got. Concrete, drywaller, electrician, HVAC, ironwork, landscaper, linesman, mechanic, machine operator, plumber, roofing, welder, and road work. So we're going to compare them all and rank them on
So real quick, what do you guys think about truckers? Would you consider trucking a trade? Like people that drive 18-wheelers? Because I did that at one point. That was fun. Don't want to do it again, not gonna lie. Really, really nerve-wracking at first. After a while, I kind of was like whipping that hell, but at the same time, if I have to go back, I will, but I don't really want to. But we'll see what happens.
Four things. Pay is the obvious one. We're talking average Joe. What can the average Joe make on this job site? Next one's lifestyle, and I think this one matters more than people think because the lifestyle adds up. You're working 80 hours a week. That's gonna break you down mentally and physically and your family. Are you home for dinner? Are you able to be a good dad? Are you able to be at home with your family? Next one is schooling. How much does schooling cost? Apprenticeships, certifications, maybe a degree, and that type of stuff. Finally, the coolness factor, because it's kind of cool to have a cool job. If a guy says
I was about to say, bro, if you can flex what job you have, you feel so good about it. And again, I'm a little biased as a mechanic. I think it's pretty cool. Like, I had worked on cars before, and now I'm working on big old trucks. So the next thing I got to do after I get done with doing this, the next couple years, gotta be a motorcycle mechanic. Literally anything from 2 wheels to 18 wheels. If it has wheels, I can fix it. That's what I want to get to.
Equipment operator. You picture him manning a big hunk of metal moving dirt. Someone says he's a drywaller. You picture him pissing in a Gatorade bottle. So yeah, we're making the ultimate trades tier list. And make sure you stick around to hear your trade come up and which one I choose to be the best. First on the list, the electrician. Known for being one of the snobbiest trades out there, they also really like to leave their entire job site a complete mess because someone else will pick that up. There also seems to be a weird uniform that they all wear that no one talked about. Khaki pants, boots, and a Carhartt quarter zip hoodie. Every electrician I know wears that. Electrician making about $60,000 a year, making some decent.
See, I want to see the fat electrician on this part specifically. I just want to see what he thinks.
Money, but you're talking 4 to 5 years in an apprenticeship. But the beautiful part about being an electrician is you can level up and get paid a lot more. This trade has a higher ceiling than other ones. You get your journeyman license, maybe your master electrician license. You could be making about $100,000 a year. 40, 45-hour work week and sometimes have to work on the weekend. So lifestyle, not too bad. In terms of coolness, I'd say it's about medium cool. There's not anything that cool about being someone with OCD. Okay. All that being said, I'm gonna rank the
So I was thinking medium cool? Yeah, probably. Sounds about right.
Electrician as A tier. I think it's just lacking that cool factor to get up into the S.
I feel like A tier is a little high. I'm not gonna lie. Everything seems to be kind of like right in the middle, except for the schooling. I would have put it at B tier. I'm not gonna lie to you, but yeah.
But everything else is pretty dang good. Plumber. Oh, plumbers. What?
I know someone who's a plumber, and like, holy shit, I rarely see him. It's weird because I know he's a plumber. I know he goes out to work, and I see that man maybe once or twice every 6 months.
What a piece of work a plumber can be. They show up, they charge you for just looking at stuff. They charge you for twisting knobs and not really fixing anything. Hell, they'll even charge you for breaking something themselves. If they weren't in the trades, they'd probably be a used car salesman. Old Slick Willie. And you're really a good fit for a plumber if you are a catastrophe predictor. The whole system's gotta be replaced because I gotta clean the P-trap. Tear it all out, put in a new system. That'll cost you 40 grand. That's what it's like being a plumber. Don't even get me started on the crack. The median salary is $61,000 a year. You got an apprenticeship 4 to 5 years. You're gonna work about 40 hours a week, and again, sometimes have to work on the weekend. Plumber's a little bit harder on your body though. You're gonna have to be.
Okay, well, I have no idea what my friend's doing at all, because like I barely see that nigga at all. Hey, whatever. I guess he likes it. He hasn't said he's gonna quit yet, and he makes pretty good money, I suppose. So. Yeah.
You're getting up and down, you're gonna have to get your hands dirty, you're gonna be laying pipe in holes all day. Would you think that would help the coolness factor? But the upside of being a plumber is you can make a lot more money if you go do it on your own and get all the licenses and level up. Almost 115 grand a year. Tell you what, that's kind of cool. I'm gonna rank the plumber as a B tier.
Yeah, with a switch. I want to put him
at the end of the day, you are still just dealing with all day. That stinks. Literally. The HVAC technician, you're either super early or super late, but I know one thing, you don't give a about the general contractor's schedule. You guys show up when you are good and ready. HVAC guys have a little bit of a stereotype that they install their stuff wherever they want and everyone else has to move around them. And if you're gonna be an HVAC technician, you can make around $56,000 a year. Your training could be anywhere from 6 months to 2 years. You do need some certification with the EPA. And again, you're working 40, 45 some hours a week. Sometimes you gotta work the weekends. And in terms of body impact, not as bad. Probably something's more similar to the electrician. I haven't seen as many HVAC guys with limps as I have other trades. We can rank them by limps.
Yeah, no,
this
true.
body impact is about 2 limps. Coolness factor, definitely cooler than dealing with shit all day, but not as cool as the electrician. So we're falling somewhere in there. So I'm gonna rank HVAC as a C tier. Not very cool. You don't get paid as much as the electrician and plumber. The other day, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking about putting it in D tier. I'm not gonna lie to you. It isn't like it's a bad trade. It's just I don't know anyone. I've never seen anyone that does HVAC and is like, yeah, I love HVAC. You should get into HVAC, unless they're like a teacher trying to get you to go to their school. So it's like,
not that cool. Next, we got the welder, which right off the bat, I'm shocked looking at this number of how much they make, $48,000 a year. There's a stereotype that welders are massively rich. Welders are notorious for shitting on other welders. All the trades kind of do this, but I feel like it's most prevalent in the welding community. Welders will be on vacation, see some other guys weld from halfway around the world, and he will rip into this guy. Training can take 6 months to a year. Average weekly hours, about 45 hours a week. Body impact, feel like it's not too bad, probably in that 2 limps area again.
Yeah, pretty much, except for like the underwater ones, the ones that do all the special welding and shit like that get fucking flown out to places to do like one weld or whatever and get paid ridiculous amount of money for it. But it's like one of those welds where it's like no one else can do this, no one else is qualified to do this, and it takes fucking forever. So, kinda depends.
But coolness factor is where this puppy
it's where they get A tier.
Really catches its stride. Coolness factor is where this sucker really starts licking. Coolness factor is where it jumps this thing up a tier or 2. If you tell me you're a welder, I instantly think you're cool. You gotta wear a mask like that and use a torch? Let's go.
Cool.
Fire?
It's
cool.
pretty cool.
Masks? Cool. Big leather gloves? Cool. You're literally fusing metals. That's cool. I'm gonna put welder in the S tier. It's cool. You can get paid a lot of money if you're really good, and I kind of like the idea of striving to be better at your craft and getting paid more. We got our first S tier. Mechanics. Mechanics. These guys are introverted.
That's me.
They don't like talking to people. They barely got through high school, so now they're into cars. And they're
The reason I barely got through high school is because I didn't like anyone in high school, okay? The reason I got into cars is like taking shit apart and putting shit back together, okay?
Always finding a way to squeeze an extra buck out of you. Changing the air filter, filling up the washer fluid. One thing they do know is a lot about music. They got that shop radio cranked all day long.
We do.
We need about 6 months to 2 years of training, which this is our first actual schooling that we need. If you don't want to go to a tech school,
you don't need it. by the way. You don't need it.
School, probably don't want to be a mechanic. You don't need a certification, but you will need an ASE, an Automotive Service Excellence Certification.
I had 2 of those: braking, brake systems, and steering and suspension.
If you want to work somewhere legit, like a dealership or something like that. You're gonna be working 40 hours a week. You're gonna maybe sometimes have to work the weekends. And body impact, I feel like it's about 3 limps. Coolness factor, I go back and forth on this because
The body impact, it depends on what you're fixing, to be honest with you. Because you'll fix cars from like the 90s or whatever. You'll fix like a 97 Toyota Corolla or whatever, and it's like, that ain't too bad. But then someone will come in with like a fucking what the fuck are they? A goddamn 250 and be like, yeah, I want to put a fucking lift kit on it, or the lift kit that I installed fucked up because he didn't know what the fuck he was doing, and then you have to do all this extra shit in order to get it to work because he didn't put anything on there correctly. And then his buddy Jim Bob from fucking 3 miles away was like, oh yeah, I can just weld this bitch on. So there's parts that shouldn't be welded on, and people have a shocking lack of knowledge of their own fucking car, despite them saying we work on our fucking cars all the goddamn time. And it's like, no, the fuck you actually don't. It makes no sense, and it's insane that you say that. And like, one of the reasons that you're not getting anything out of your engine, like you said you were, is because for some reason you have a fucking crack in your goddamn oil pan, and I told you about that shit, and you were like, no, I'm not gonna do anything about it. So we had to write it up and then let you go because you paid for everything else. And then you came back, and then you were like, well, for some reason my engine keeps locking up, and I hear a bunch of fucking engine knocking and shit, and I'm like, what? Oh, okay. And then we jack your car up again, and then we see that your oil pan for some reason is significantly smaller than it used to be, and it turns out it got fucking crushed, and you still just decided to keep running on it. And then all of a sudden we like open that shit up, we take out the little oil drain bolt, right? And all of a sudden nothing comes out, like literally nothing comes out of there. And we're like, what the fuck's going on? So we end up taking off the oil pan, and for some reason there's a bunch of gum in there. I don't mean like chewing gum, I mean the oil got so dirty and so nasty it decided to congeal itself and a fucking slab at the bottom of that shit. And if for some reason you're still expecting us to just give you an oil change, like that's not going to do anything. Like what you did didn't do anything to the car. Like, what are we talking about? It's a nightmare, bro. Whatever.
it's kind of cool to be covered in grease, but if we're being real, you're mostly just changing oil. So I'm gonna rank the mechanic at a B tier.
I guess it really kind of depends on what mechanic you are. Because like, say you go to tech school or whatever. I ended not. Kind of very glad I didn't do that. But say you go to tech school and you come out, they're gonna hire you and you'll be a lube tech. More than likely, you'll be a lube tech. Every once in a while, they'll probably change the brakes. But when you get up there, you're there for years. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. Then you can get into cooler stuff, like actually taking apart the engine, or taking it out, taking it apart, putting it back in. That shit, not gonna lie, it's kind of tough. And also another thing that I feel like he's not looking at right here. He's not looking at the apocalypse factor. That's what I'm telling you. He's not looking at the apocalypse factor. If something goes crazy like that, right? And you have a squad of people, and you have to get rid of some of the people. Who are you gonna get rid of? You're getting rid of the people that can't fucking do anything. And you want to know who can do stuff? Electrician, plumber, mechanic. We can do that. Welders, we can do that. Like, what are we talking about?
There's not as much upside money-wise. There's kind of a ceiling on it, and more education doesn't equal more money. Next, we have the old heavy equipment operator, the most rested trade of all the trades. If you like to catch some Z's, you need to become a heavy equipment operator. What a cushy gig. You're in a heated or cooled cab, so it doesn't matter what it is outside. You can wear shorts all year round. Median salary, about $54,000 a year. Training is usually some on-the-job training once you got your CDL license. You might not need your CDL, but you probably will. Work about 45 hours a week and sometimes have to work the weekends. Now, body impact, we're talking 1 limp and 1 heart attack. You're gonna be getting some high blood pressure from all of the lack of moving you're doing. Now, coolness, I wish I was a heavy equipment operator. I envy the hell out of equipment operators. Our office is in an industrial park, and sometimes I will waste 45 minutes just standing at the window watching a guy move dirt. That being said, I'm going to rank the equipment operator at a S tier. I just think it's cool. Driving a giant machine all day, moving dirt, sitting on your ass, eating snacks, getting type 2 diabetes. Sounds like a pretty good life. Next up, we got the linesmen. These guys are kind of known as the cowboys of the trades. They know what they're doing, but they also kind of got a screw loose. But their median salary, $78,000 a year.
That's crazy. I actually know a lineman. He was talking about how shitty his job is. And then he got paid as he was talking about it. He was like, you know what? I take all that back.
Ooh! You got to do 4 years of an apprenticeship. Have a CDL and have OSHA and union certifications. So there's a lot more that goes into getting into this. Working about 45 hours a week, and you got to work the weekends a lot. You can't control Mother Nature. If it decides to blow over a light pole, you're going to work. Body impact, I feel, is about 3 to 4 limps. But the danger involved with this work, that's where the body impact could go through the roof. It's a dangerous job. Coolness though, kind of cool to be a linesman. I could not because I am deathly afraid of heights. I'm ranked the linesman at an A tier. Great pay. Again, it's just more dangerous, I feel like, than the others, and
True.
so I feel like less people are going to get into it, otherwise it would be an S tier. Next, we have the concrete workers. Man, these guys are felons. If you have a pulse, you can work concrete. We just need bodies out there. These guys are up there with the most degenerate. It's just really hard work. It's very hard on the body. There's a reason why it's the roughest crowd, is because it's one of the roughest jobs to do. You make about $47,000 a year. Though back when I was working, I made about $12 an hour. Not to brag. Wow. Training, you're dreaming if they're.
Oh my god. I hope that was a long time. Good lord. Those are slave wages, brother. What are we talking about? Hell no.
There's training involved. Certification? For what? You're gonna work on average 45 hours a week. Body impact, it's about 10 limps. I know this because my dad limps 10 times from the couch to the fridge at his house. Coolness factor, it's definitely cool than being a plumber. Now you're rough and tough, you get to smoke cigs. Smoking cigs can look cool. I'm gonna put concrete worker as an F tier. It's just not enough pay for too much work, too hard on the body. The people you gotta work with, definitely an F tier. Sorry, Dad. Next, we have roofing. If the linemen are the cowboy of the sky, the roofers are the degenerates of the sky. We're kind of actually going through the degenerate pass right now. It's got concrete workers, roofers, and then next up we have drywallers. We are absolutely in the gauntlet of degenerates. Roofers are like if they took concrete guys and just put them on top of the building instead of under the building. Your median salary is gonna be $46,000 a year. Suck it, roofers! Concrete guys make.
That's 46. So if you're not really comprehending what this is, because you say roofers, I mean, what do they do? Inspect roofs? No, they reshingle them and they rebuild them, bro. So picture being any race at all and going up on a roof, no matter the size, and reshingling some shit in July in Texas. Yeah, fuck all that. fuck all that.
Make $47,000 a year. Let's go! You don't need training, on the job training. You don't need certifications. That's laughable. Working about 45, 50 hours a week. Working weekends. Body impact, definitely not as hard as concrete work. And I'm gonna rank the roofing at a C tier. To continue the gauntlet of degeneration, next up we got drywallers. And boy, do these guys love drugs. They love them. They can't stay away from them. I think drywallers in their free time.
I'm not gonna lie, every mechanic I know is like that too. And it's usually like you'll hear us as we're turning wrenches, like yelling and swearing and beating the shit out of whatever it is we're using. But then we'll get out and then we'll go home and it's just like, yeah, whatever. It kind of sucked ass, but it makes for a funny story. And then drugs. Not me necessarily, but a lot of them do.
I love to skittle. Put a bunch of pills into a bowl, mix them up, do a handful at a time. Also, they just like pissing in bottles. It's just like there's no way around it. Drywaller can make $47,000 a year. Suck it, roofers! On the job training, don't need a certification. We're working about 40, 45, 50 hours a week. The standard. I feel like body impact is a little bit more than others. I think it's very similar to being a roofer. 5 limps. And coolness factor, as a whole, drywalling's not cool. If you break it up, there's cool parts to it. Watching TikToks of people putting mud in the joints, I could watch it all day, that's cool. Walking around on stilts, that's cool. Drywalling, not cool. I don't know how that adds up. That being said, I'm gonna rank the drywaller as a C tier. If you're going through the gauntlet of degeneration, it's just, you're gonna end up in C and F tier. It's just how it goes. Next up, we got road work. You make about 48 grand a year. You're not doing anything. Just
Also, I had no idea that was like a trade. I just thought that was like a job, but fair enough, I guess.
standing around looking at stuff all day, especially if you're a city worker, government worker. I mean, the fact that there's someone out there just holding a sign, I mean, come on. You're not doing anything. Road construction takes forever because no one's doing anything. Just do something. You got some on-the-job training, but you also need to be OSHA certified. Now, in terms of body impact, I do think for them not doing anything, they do have to deal with cars driving past them working. And so it can be much more dangerous than some of these other trades. And so I will give them a danger factor. Coolness factor, I'd standing there with a sign with a yellow vest on all day. Not cool. I just can't think of anything worse than working road work, and so I'm gonna put this at an F tier. No one likes you. Everyone's honking at you, getting mad. No one's ever said, wow, I love those road workers. They work so fast. Never. Next up, we got landscapers. Make a measly $39,000 a year. No training involved. Jigz left me a note that if you do want to be a pesticide applicator, there are some states that require certification.
Yeah, I did that too. Not the lawn care or anything like that, but I did pest control, and we did kind of intertwine a lot, believe it or not. And yeah, at least in Virginia, you have to have a license for it.
And that's how you know we actually did some research. You're working 40, 45, 50 hours a week like most. You're gonna have to work the weekends quite a bit, especially in the summer. Gotta get a lot of work done this summer. Body impact, it can be tough work. I would say it's about 5 limps, and I mean, you're wheelbarrowing, you're shoveling. Now, coolness factor, if you can make some pretty cool arrangements, I'm in board with that, but I feel like it's about medium. I mean, at the end of the day, when you're done with a landscaping project, it does look really nice, and that's cool. So I'm gonna put landscapers in the B tier. Landscaping is kind of like if concrete wasn't so degenerate. Next trade on the list, we have the iron workers. Iron workers can make a 60 grand a year salary. Let's go, iron workers. Training can take 3 to 4 years. You got an apprenticeship, plus you got the union and state licensing. On average, you're working about 45 hours a week, and sometimes gotta work the weekends. Body impact for these guys, though, pretty high. It can be a very dangerous job. We talked about this before. The photo of the iron workers on the Empire State Building from 1930 something. Fucking badass. But my palms are sweating just thinking about it. That being said, I think being an iron worker is badass. It would be an S tier if it wasn't as dangerous, so I'm gonna put it as an A tier. Badass. All right, we have our tier list. After looking at the tier list, it's time to pick which one I would go into. And looking at the top two, the welder and the operator, I think I'm personally picking the heavy equipment operator because
100%.
I just want to move dirt. Actually, the sneaky dark horse that I would put if you don't want to be a heavy equipment operator that I would put up next is the electrician. Yes, they're a little snobby, but I think you get paid really well. And we really need them bad right now. So I think you can't go wrong.
It's literally every trade is kind of like suffering. Back in the, at least for mechanics, so back in the day, you needed to have some type of certification, and even if you did have a certification, you're going there, you're sweeping, you're mopping, and all that good shit. You're not actually really doing anything, and then after a while, then they'll get you to start doing stuff. Now, how I got the job now. Now, remember, I've been trained and had two ASEs and cars, but now I work on diesels. All right, you want to know what I did? I walked into the shop because I heard they were hiring and asked for a job. It's like, that's it. That's all I did. Every trade, it seems, from what I keep hearing, what I keep reading, they need people. They need bodies. No one wants to do it because they don't get paid enough. So
Wrong with heavy equipment operator or an electrician. So all in all, we need people in all these trades, so you should decide for yourself. You should also let me know which one you're thinking about. I probably got some stuff wrong, so just let me know too. Very curious to see what people think is the best trade out there, considering all the factors weighed. So let me know what I got right, let me know what I got wrong. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. We'll see you in the next one.
Personally, if I had to say something, uh, in no particular order, mechanic, electrician, plumber, welder, something like that. Because I'm thinking to myself, if I buy a house or if I get a car or something and it breaks down, you want to know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to fucking fix that shit. So, so it'd be good to know and have the in-depth knowledge on how to fix something if I needed to. But that's just me. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. That'll be easy.